You served as the Southern District of New York when the new Attorney General nominee served as Attorney General the last time. Do you have confidence that he can act with impartiality if he's confirmed to this new post?
I like and respect Bill Barr. I know he's an institutionalist who cares deeply about the integrity of the Justice Department, so I'm sure he'll use the standard career resources he has to judge what he should be involved in and what he shouldn't be involved in. But Bill Barr is a talented person who was a good Attorney General the first time. I liked him very much then. I think he'll serve the Justice Department well.
There's a question about whether he should recuse himself from the Mueller probe.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll talk to the.
You served as the Southern District of New York when the new Attorney General nominee served as Attorney General the last time. Do you have confidence that he can act with impartiality if he's confirmed to this new post?
I like and respect Bill Barr. I know he's an institutionalist who cares deeply about the integrity of the Justice Department, so I'm sure he'll use the standard career resources he has to judge what he should be involved in and what he shouldn't be involved in. But Bill Barr is a talented person who was a good Attorney General the first time. I liked him very much then. I think he'll serve the Justice Department well.
There's a question about whether he should recuse himself from the Mueller probe.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll talk to the.
You served as the Southern District of New York when the new Attorney General nominee served as Attorney General the last time. Do you have confidence that he can act with impartiality if he's confirmed to this new post?
I like and respect Bill Barr. I know he's an institutionalist who cares deeply about the integrity of the Justice Department, so I'm sure he'll use the standard career resources he has to judge what he should be involved in and what he shouldn't be involved in. But Bill Barr is a talented person who was a good Attorney General the first time. I liked him very much then. I think he'll serve the Justice Department well.
There's a question about whether he should recuse himself from the Mueller probe.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll talk to the.
You served as the Southern District of New York when the new Attorney General nominee served as Attorney General the last time. Do you have confidence that he can act with impartiality if he's confirmed to this new post?
I like and respect Bill Barr. I know he's an institutionalist who cares deeply about the integrity of the Justice Department, so I'm sure he'll use the standard career resources he has to judge what he should be involved in and what he shouldn't be involved in. But Bill Barr is a talented person who was a good Attorney General the first time. I liked him very much then. I think he'll serve the Justice Department well.
There's a question about whether he should recuse himself from the Mueller probe.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'll talk to the career.
to as many people as possible. Jim Acosta, you have heard so many of President Trump's speeches. This one stands out.
It certainly does, John, to pass us by. And thank goodness that at that moment, at this pivotal moment in our history, that both the President of the United States and the President of France
salute and a flyer.
Yet another migrant caravan is pushing through Mexico up toward the U.S. amid little resistance from Mexican officials there. One America's Christian Rose reports.
Mexico is struggling to intercept yet another large group of Central American migrants marching towards the U.S. border. Reports on Wednesday suggested Mexican police escorted the new caravan of at least 1,000 migrants who entered southern Mexico overnight. This as talks over immigration and tariffs between Mexican and U.S. officials continue in Washington.
I'm encouraged that President López Obrador sees the problem and more importantly is willing to do something about the problem. So let's see how the talks proceed.
Mexico is looking to avoid President Trump's 5 to 25% tariffs by cooperating on immigration. However, reports on the ground suggest Mexico only has 200 military police officers to confront this latest caravan, and instead of detaining and deporting the migrants, officials opted to put them on buses and take them deeper into Mexico. They say the migrants will be housed and registered around the town of Tapachula, but there is no guarantee they won't continue their trek north.
We're going to board the women and children in the buses so they continue on their way, but not by walking because they're hurting themselves.
Trump administration officials have proposed a three-step plan for Mexico to tackle mass migration and avoid the tariffs, due to go into effect on June the 10th. White House trade advisor Peter Navarro detailed the proposal, saying, first of all, Mexico must keep all migrants permanently in its territory. Second, Mexico must seal its border with Guatemala to prevent further entries. Finally, Navarro said Mexico must crack down on corruption at immigration checkpoints along the bus and train routes that take migrants to the U.S. border.
Very lucrative enterprise, and it's a public-private partnership in the sense that you have the narco-traffickers and the human traffickers, and then you have government officials making a lot of money. I mean, there's a system of checkpoints that runs south and north to the United States that are supposed to stop a lot of this activity when in fact a lot of corruption takes place.
Yet it remains unclear if Mexico is able to follow through, even if it agrees to the U.S. proposed plan. Mexican officials say they are lacking manpower at the Guatemala border, while many migrants are coming from Central America through the jungle and across rivers, avoiding roads and checkpoints. So far, Mexico has made vague proposals on curbing the migrant flow, but the U.S. side is urging practical actions.
¿Cuál es la propuesta de México?
What's Mexico's proposal? To work jointly with the United States and international community to reduce forced migration forced by poverty and violence in Central America and advance economic development in migrants' countries of origin.
Still, U.S. negotiators and Mexican officials, including President Andrés Manuel López Obrador himself, say they are optimistic a deal will be reached and tariffs avoided. In the meantime, migrants now flocking to Mexico from all over the world keep pushing north. Christian Rose, One America News.
Diamond and Silk, we've been saying it for almost 3 years. If you don't like this country, then you can pack your nets up and you can go back to your own country or to another country. This is the United States of America, and we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Not the flag of Mexico.
That's right. So if you don't like it here, you can go back.
Joining me now are Diamond and Silk. Thank you so much for being here with me.
So I wanted to get your reaction to the squad. We know that Trump's been going back and forth with the tweets, and then we have Nancy Pelosi who's in the mix, and there's just been a lot of infighting among Democrats as well. So what do you think of all this?
Well, the squad, I call them the hate and the fraud squad. Because they spew hate, and I think they are all fraudsters, because here's the deal. They are supposed to represent the American people, not illegal aliens. They are supposed to be lawmakers, not lawbreakers. And so when we see the squad wanting to break the law, wanting to be anti-America, anti-American, we have a problem with that.
That's right.
Now, Nancy Pelosi should have set these women straight from day one, but she didn't. She went along with their shenanigans, and now look at what's happening.
That's right. And I just want to piggyback on what Diamond just said. You know, when you look back at our president's tweet, he didn't mention no race, no color, no country. He did not mention the amount. So how is it that 4 congressmen women out of all of the congresswomen there on the Hill know who the president was talking about? What they did is they exposed themselves because they knew exactly what they've been doing and how they've been doing it. They took and exposed their own selves. And it's a shame for the media, the way they're trying to spin this as if it's so racial. It's such a racist thing with what he said. Diamond and Silk, we've been saying it for almost 3 years. If you don't like this country, then you can pack your nets up and you can go back to your own country or to another country. This is the United States of America. And we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Not the flag of Mexico.
That's right. So if you don't like it here, you can go back. But what our president was simply stating is that if you have a problem with the way it's going on here, since you know they want to say we don't like the values of America, then go back to the country and you fix those issues there and then come back and tell us how to do it. That's all he was simply saying.
Yeah, I didn't read the tweets as racist, but the Democrats and leftists, they call everything racist. So it's just, you don't even know anymore. And I will say, as the daughter of an immigrant, leftists regularly tell me to go back to Mexico because they don't agree with me on immigration issues. Like I support a secure border, so therefore they want to send me back to Mexico with my mom, even though I was born here.
Yeah, but you have to understand the reason why they use the race card whenever they don't have whenever they don't have policy.
That's
whenever
right.
they don't have anything that's of substance.
Of substance, or they don't have the facts to challenge the facts. They call you names.
They call you names, and the
names.
first thing everybody is a racist.
That's right.
So first they're trying to make our president that. Now it's back to Nancy Pelosi. This is what they do.
That's
this
right.
is what they do.
That's right.
And I think the American people are frustrated
and tired of it. And if you look at the squad, you know there are women of color. I don't see any white women within their squad. So does that make them racist?
Because they don't want to spewing hatred.
Yeah.
They don't want them running around here spewing hatred.
That's right.
Anti-Semitic rhetoric. You know, I would like for them to talk about the issues. Talk about how you're going to fix this country. Talk about the homelessness
and
our veterans. Talk about those things.
Yes.
I am not for you being pro-illegal aliens and being anti-American.
That's right.
Well, if you think about it, it was just like a week ago that AOC was accusing House Speaker Pelosi of being racist. And then we had Democrats calling Joe Biden racist. And you know, they never called him a racist when he was the vice president.
They sure didn't. But let me just say this here when it comes to Joe Biden. When you go back and listen to the 1993 Senate floor speech that he gave on the crime bill, it echoed the sentiments of bigotry and racism.
Yes, it did.
Now, I'm not calling Joe Biden a racist, but I think he is tone deaf when it comes to racism and some of the things that he has gotten away with over the past 50, 60 some years.
That's right.
While he was up there with the segregationists and the KKK members that were still residing in his party. It probably still is today.
Yes.
But this is what they do.
That's
the
right.
Democrats played the race card. AOC, all she had left was to play the race card.
That's right.
But this is what you need to know. The Democrat Party is setting themselves up to lose. Americans are disturbed. They don't like it.
You're right.
They don't like it when our country is being put down by these people.
That's right.
They don't like it when they don't take up for America and American values.
That's right.
They don't like that.
Yes.
And so people are disturbed. You got Democrats that's disturbed, Republicans, independence that's disturbed.
That's right.
We have people walking up to us all the time and like, you know what? We can't vote for them anymore.
Well,
and real quick, just look at the history of the Democrat Party. It was the Democrats that enslaved black people. I mean, the Democrat Party was the party of racism. They were the party of segregation. They were the party of division, of Jim Crow, of the KKK. They were the party of that. So whenever I see AOC look back at Nancy Pelosi and say, well, you are racist, or it be insinuating that you are racist, guess what? They are the party of racism.
Right. But I do not believe that Nancy Pelosi is a racist.
No.
What I believe is that she lost all, she don't have any kind of power or control when it comes to her party.
That's right.
She's the leader of the House, and she's, the Speaker of the House, and she's letting this all go down. She should have got them from day one, but she went along with their shenanigans, and now they have her looking just like a fool.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear who's running the party here, because all we're talking about is the squad now. And I find it fascinating that the squad, they make it seem like you can't criticize them because they're women and women of color, which I think that, you know, it's fair game. You can criticize people on their policies, and this isn't about race. And I wanted to get your thoughts on the Democrats, again, the squad shifting their focus on Pelosi again after the Trump tweet storm. So let me read this to you. It says, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is partly blaming House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for death threats directed at a group of minority congresswomen. So after this whole blow up of tweets and the focus between Trump and the squad, now they're attacking Pelosi again.
But you know what? They need to blame themselves.
That's right.
They're the ones running around being provocateurs, saying provocative, salacious things, calling our Border Patrol agents, referring to them as Hitler, saying stuff about the processing centers and detention centers being like concentration camps.
Right.
Listen to the things that they're saying. Listen, what you're doing is you're trying to destroy America. You're trying to put the American people against our Border Patrol agents, who protects. These people protect the front lines of America. I mean, disturbing. But this is what they do. Playing the race card. Got to blame this one. Blame yourself.
Blame yourself.
Blame yourself for being anti-American anti-America.
And
that's why people are threatening you.
And a lot of times they bring it upon themselves, because look at all of the death threats that we get for being black conservatives. I mean, look at with the rhetoric that they spew out, it in terms create death threats back to us because we're black, we're women, and we're conservatives. When you have Maxine Waters standing there saying, do this to them, when you see them, tell them they're not welcome. The left is inciting a lot of this violence, and all it's doing is coming right back to them. You are what you speak, from your head to your feet. They're dishing it out, and it's coming right back to them.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on something, the Border Patrol agents, they've been calling them concentration guards. And then we saw that Antifa terrorist attack in Washington at the ICE facility. And the guy in his manifesto said, you know, he mentioned the concentration camps and all of these other things, and notice they don't put a lot of attention on that. Now, I want to jump over to this story, which I think, I know you're not a huge fan of Cardi B. She is officially supporting Bernie Sanders for president. How about that?
Well, what she need to do, if she got millions, start giving her millions away to people is what she need to do, because she ain't gonna have nothing if she support Bernie Sanders. She's a millionaire now, but she won't be a millionaire for long, because he support socialism, socialistic ideas. Taking her money and giving it and passing it out. Spreading and sharing the wealth is what he wants to do. Making everybody have everything equally, even if they didn't work hard for it.
That's right.
You might remember she complained about paying taxes, but she didn't realize that Democrats and the candidates that she support would want to take more of her hard-earned dollars.
Well, Bernie Sanders said he was going to raise your taxes. Once he give everybody health care, which is going to be a failed care. It's going to be controlled care, where they can control you whether you live or die. People need to understand that. People need to understand that. If everybody had the same type of health care and everybody don't have the same type of conditions, you're setting a system up where you live, but you die. Your time is up. That's the type of system where you have to wait for years probably to be seen by specialists. That's what Bernie Sanders want to do. Shame on Cardi B because she just don't understand. She just don't know.
And not to mention, Bernie Sanders said he wants to tax the rich.
That's right.
So she may be rich today,
but she's going to be poor tomorrow.
That's right.
If she get him.
Well, and also, I'm surprised he accepted the endorsement because, I mean, she's facing new charges. Like, she could be potentially facing jail time. And then she had that other scandal where we saw the video where she admitted that she would drug and rob men, and she would lure them to a hotel room.
Right.
So it's like, does he really want that endorsement? And I'm surprised no one's criticized him over it. And I want to jump over to Women for Trump. I know that you two are part of the coalition, and the official launch happened this week. And I know that you were in attendance because I saw pictures of you all on stage. And I saw this article, and it was written by Jezebel.com, and this reporter titled it, "White Women Are Ready to Mobilize for Trump." That's funny because I saw women of all colors on stage supporting President Trump, and there were like 1,000 women there.
Not only on stage, but also in the audience. Latinos, Blacks, Asians, all types of women. Listen, there's a whole battalion of women that's ready to defend this president because they love America and they love his agenda from all walks of life, entrepreneurs, mothers, daughters, sisters. So, you know, when they write the fake news, this is what they want to do. That's right. It's not just white women that are supporting this president. There's a lot of women supporting this president because they love the amazing things that he's doing for this country and for them. Over 50-some% of the women is now back in the workforce. We can't say that up under the Obama administration, but we can now say that up under the Trump administration.
And not to mention, it was Diamond and Silk. We was part of the original Women for Trump with Laura Trump, with Katrina Pearson, and with Lynn Patton, and we won't name the other person. However, we was the original individuals that was on the Women for Trump tour, and it has grown from 5 people to thousands of women. Right. Okay, from 5 women to thousands of women, and that's what's going on. People see what's going on in this country. They are happy that their husbands are back at work, that they are back at work, that they're able to provide for their children. They're able to go to the grocery store, purchase food so that they can feed their family. They love what our president is doing. There was a lot of women also that voted Democrat, but in 2020, they're voting for President Donald J. Trump because they want him to be the president again.
So your words to Ashley Reese, who wrote this article titled "White Women Are Ready to Mobilize for Trump." What do you say to her?
She needs to stop spreading fake news. She's a liar.
Right. And she's colorblind.
That's right.
Go get an eye examination.
And stop always referring to race.
That's right.
Women, Americans, which are women, they're supporting our president, President Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
And I wanted to give you a minute to promote your tour. You're going around the country, and your next stop is?
Our next stop is Hendersonville, Nevada. That's coming up. You can get your Chit Chat Tour tickets at chitchattour.com or go to diamondandsilk.com and click on Chit Chat Tour.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So what is your reaction to this news that, the Democrats keep saying that Russia wanted Donald Trump to win, and now William Barr is looking into it? Is that the right track?
It's entirely appropriate, and I think some people would tell you Russia wanted her to lose, and then in a binary choice, by default, that means he must win. The intelligence community is always really skittish when people look at their work product. They don't deal in evidence, they don't deal in evidentiary burdens or thresholds, they deal in assessments. And Maria, you and I can think of some famous examples in the past where their assessments were wrong. So I got a lot of respect for the intelligence community, but no one is above oversight and review and scrutiny. And if Barr wants to look at the evidentiary foundations for this counterintelligence investigation, he should.
Yeah, especially since Michael Morell, who was the deputy director of the CIA during the Obama administration, says that John Durham's interest in speaking to the CIA is inappropriate.
Yeah, that's what they always say. I mean, remember the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and then remember the spontaneous reaction to an anti-Muslim video in Libya. That's what Morell told us then, too. You can't go interview the analyst. It'll have a chilling effect. Okay, then, quit using intelligence products in your criminal justice analysis. If you don't want us applying a criminal justice analysis to your intelligence work, then quit using it. And I think what we're going to find in 2016 is the intelligence community was providing information to law enforcement that then went into this investigation where some Democrats are calling for Donald Trump to be in prison. So you can't have it both ways. You can't have a lower standard of scrutiny but still get your information put into the criminal justice realm. It doesn't work that way.
And yet there was some information that actually wasn't presented to the powers that be that were making important decisions. You just heard your former colleague, Devin Nunes. He sent a letter to the head of the FBI on Friday saying, how come we never saw the Kathleen Kavalek notes where she raised her hand and said Christopher Steele's information is not to be trusted?
Yeah, you have her assessment, but you also have the FBI's own assessment of Christopher Steele as a source. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen the FBI's internal analysis of whether Christopher Steele was reliable? Have you seen the paperwork where he was defrocked as a source because he couldn't follow FBI rules and regulations? Have you seen the exculpatory information as it relates to George Papadopoulos? Here's one, Maria. Have you seen the disparate defensive debriefings that they gave candidate Clinton versus candidate Trump? And has anyone asked the FBI to explain why they took entirely different tracks with those two debriefings? There's a lot left to be seen by you and your viewers.
Yeah, and you mentioned something the last time you were with us, which you want to come back to.